Hello. What is the difference between being and doing? That's what I had to learn. I was raised with enough privilege to basically do what I wanted to do, and I've been very successful running my own business for 40 years on diversity, inclusion, belonging. Um, I have an MBA. I learned how to do by using the left frontal lobe, and yet I needed to discover what was it that kept me from being all I'm capable of being, not just doing. So that's the question I'd like each of us to ask one another. What is it that keeps us from being all we're capable of being? And I don't really mean the legitimate external things or organizations or people who keep us. They keep us from mostly doing everything we want to do, and sometimes from being. But I mean from within, what keeps us from being our fullest self, all we're capable of being. For me, I discovered that when I was interacting with people from other cultures, first globally, because you can't deny the differences in our global cultural diversity. It's pretty extreme sometimes, especially, of course, if we're not speaking the same language. But if the other has learned to speak our language, they then have more power. I don't mean over one another. I mean they have the ability in the communication and the relationship um, to know more about us than we know about them. And so I learned that my greatest weakness was my ethnocentrism. So, how is it that any of us can learn to do more of the bridging, uh, more of the hearing and feeling what the other is communicating, since 90% of communication is nonverbal? By the way, that's very difficult for some of us to have learned, starting with myself as a straight white male. I thought it was all verbal. But once we learn how to actually feel, listen, uh, value the other person's emotions, perspective, life experience, um, or just at the moment what they're trying to convey and communicate, then immediately the connection and the relationship is enhanced. Okay, and once it's enhanced rather than depleted, because we know how to handle ourselves or one another if the energy's been depleted. But if it's enhanced, look what we can communicate with one another in order to co-create whatever our common goal in this relationship or this team in the workplace is. That's not left frontal lobe work. That's heart and soul work. But actually, it's just a more authentic way of not only being our fullest selves, but seeing and hearing the authentic self of the other with whom we're relating. That's the work that we each need to be doing. And I coach that and facilitate that or even speak about it. So let me know if you, as a straight white male leader or executive, or you as one who's not but knows some white men who could use some enhanced consciousness. Um, that's my work. Lewis@griggs.com and or my LinkedIn page, Lewis Brown Griggs. Thanks.